Howdy, my fellow wooden watters. I guess you've been wondering who you might elect into power for 2020. Is it going to be Trump? Or is it going to be Biden, or however you pronounce his name? Well, I've got a third candidate right here. Now this one really does bring power to the people. And well, I'm saying Woodgas 2020. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be voting Woodgas 2020. And for a good reason too. As I've got 2020 hours clocked up on this little puppy. That's 2020 hours so far of runtime where the engine hasn't developed a fault because of wood gas. Oh sure, I've had to replace the engine a couple of times because it's simply worn out due to very long run times and failures of generators in places other than those that wood gas would cause. But that's been really the only problem, other than the gasifier itself burning out and the plumbing system failing. Since you last saw this video, a couple of little changes have taken place. This is pretty much the same as the previous video. Down here I've got a condensate tank and a drain port. This part here has remained unchanged. We have our airspace up to about there and the rest of it filled with small stones. Going on then around the corner to our cooling system, which I must say is rather effective. By the time the gas gets here, it is marginally above room temperature. Since the last video, I did add this. Basically it's a small version of the stone filter, and I've used a rubber coupling to allow me to pull that apart and put new stones in or clean it out, whatever may be needed. It's had about 150 hours of use so far, and it seems to be maintenance free at the moment. Very recently I added some more plumbing. So through valve 1, 2 and 3 we have the ability to either draw on the gasifier to start it and get our flare that you've seen in the past. Close that valve, open this one, and we have a blower here that pulls air in and actually blows it through the gasifier, causing it to work like a forge, basically backfeeding it, which is very handy for producing charcoal and burning anything out that might be stuck in the throat of the hearth. And of course the third valve, more or less original, going to the rest of the filter system. Now try as I might, I can't get my gasifiers to run as cleanly as perhaps they should. This pipe is about 400 hours old, and as you can see it's kind of brown and tarnished. This one here is about 200 hours old, and it's also got a bit of a tinge to it. And what I've learned over the years is that this isn't really a problem. If it turns black and shiny, then you got you some trouble. But if it's just sort of a brown finish to it, ain't really nothing to worry about. Oh sure, the carburetor gets a little bit dirty, but after all this time I've still got perfect response on the throttle. And of course when I pull the engine I do it slowly every time, looking for signs of jammed valves and things like that, but it's just never been a problem. What that suggests is that you can get away with a certain amount of dirt in the system, and I'm thinking that this may actually be a result of the wood I use. It's very soft wood, it's pine. I'm told that pine is one of the more difficult fuels to process successfully into engine grade fuel gas. But the fact that I've been able to succeed with it, really without a hitch, suggests that yes, even this cheap and nasty stuff is workable. I'd like to suggest also that if you treat your gasifier with love, chocolate sauce, provide your gasifier with something it likes. As a dessert. Keeps the gasifier happy and willing to work for longer and longer. Now that's either chocolate sauce or old sump oil. You be the judge. Anyway, Sir Gas-a-Lot likes it. Maybe this has become clear to you, but this is something of a random kind of a video, not at all scripted or thought out. I thought I'd simply introduce the fact that yes, you can clock up thousands of hours on a system using substandard fuels and perhaps imperfect gasification techniques without any ill effects. Alrighty, my fellow wooden watters, I'd like to think that this little thing's going to be having a rest now. We done got us some sunshine, and well, I figure that's going to save me a fortune in free treasel. So I can save this lot for next winter maybe. Okie dokie, my fellow wooden watters and treaselologists, have you a good one.